Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you to episode 3 of the YouTube series called My Life with Asperger's. My name is Mike Demaro, and tonight's episode is going to be about acceptance and how I dealt with acceptance in my life with friends and all changes and everything else. Now, the first thing is acceptance with the Asperger's. Back in '06, when I was diagnosed with it, I didn't know what it was. It took me some time to figure out what it was, so I didn't feel comfortable telling anybody about it. But yet, my mom did the research online before we went to the doctor's office for my appointment for the diagnosis. So then I was looking it up online, and then I wanted to get involved with the autism walk, and then also I heard about John Elder Robison, who did the book Look Me in the Eye, and how he went to Elms College in Chicopee to do the presentation back a few years ago. So then I decided, you know, why don't I figure out more about this, and why don't I tell people about it? So, when I first was diagnosed with Asperger's back in '06, I went to work that night after my appointment, and I was asking one of my coworkers, "Do you think I think outside the box?" And he was thinking I was silly for asking him that, you know? And then back in '08, my boss's child, my boss's son, was diagnosed with Asperger's and autism. And when I heard those words come out of his mouth, I knew what he was talking about, because I was diagnosed with Asperger's back in '06. So I was thinking, you know, maybe he should ask my mom for advice, because my mom and dad have been through it before with raising me growing up. So, anyways, now I've been having problems telling people what Asperger's is, and I tell them it's a form of autism. Because one time I told somebody at work that I was autistic and I was mentally disabled, and they were thinking, "You're a normal guy. You can do a normal job," you know. And then a couple of days later, the manager pulled me into the office with that coworker of mine, and I told him that I was autistic, and he didn't realize it until I told him that. He didn't realize I was autistic until I told him that. You know what I mean? You know, I know it's very hard to tell people, but it has to be told. If you want to have help out there at work or at school or at home, you got to tell the people that you have it. You know? Now, back in September, I did the speech for the kickoff party, and I was explaining to them how I deal with daily life and all with Asperger's, and they felt welcomed that I went up and spoke, and they were very happy, and people were excited that I spoke, and I think I did a very good job, and they thought I did a very good job too. So, even though I was nervous, because I had a hard time figuring out my speech then. Now, acceptance with friends. Now, that could be a little hard to talk about, but I'll try my best to deal with it. Now, it's hard for us people that have Asperger's and autism to make friends. Now you gotta try to find the people that share the same interests with you, and you know, and they're very good at finding the same interests with you. Yes. Now I had some friends back in school and whatever, and at work, and I was glad that I had the chance to work with them, and still have the chance to work with them. And I know we only are friends at work, but it's better than not having friends at all. You know? Yeah, and then the next topic I'm going to talk about is acceptance to change. Now, change is very hard for me. You know, like changes going on with daily life. You know, this world is always changing. Every single day I wake up, the world is changing already. You know what I mean? So, it's some of the things it's hard for us to deal with change, but yet it's easy enough to adjust sometimes. You know, like earlier this year, we had the gates at work installed. Now, it took me a little time to get used to them, but once I got used to them, it was okay. And then going to work there, you know, managers do change once in a while. Maybe one manager goes on once a year and gets a new manager. You know what I mean? Managers will change, and coworkers will change. Now, it may seem hard because they are so good and they work hard. And then these new people come and new managers come, and it takes a little bit of time to get used to them and get to know them. Yes, I have hard times getting to know people sometimes, but other than that, I try to work as best as I can to go along with them, you know, because they're going to be there for a while. Just like I've been there for a while. Now, it's hard for me because I'm trying to get a new job and everything, but I still work there because that's the only place I can make my money. So, now I have not been helpful on the acceptance category, but I tried my best to give you some pointers onto what I had done with my life with the topics. So, alrighty, I'm going to close out this episode. Hopefully, we'll talk to you later with more topics. Thank you for watching this show.